So this is mad. This is absolutely insane. The world has become a mess. Like, I knew it was bad. I knew it was bad. I didn't expect it to be quite this bad. Oh my god. So the entirety of North America has gone. Canada is no more. The Cree are no more. The Aztecs is no more. Washington and America are no more. The British Isles abandoned to Barbary while Scotland hides in a sort of Greenland, Iceland double up. Love it. Portugal, the sole survivor, the literal sole survivor of Europe. France are gone. Germany are gone. Oh, the Netherlands have gone, Sweden is gone, Russia's gone, everyone is gone, nothing but barbs survive. Poor old Carthage, the only people that have survived here. I have to say, the AI is absolutely terrible at taking these 3 cities over. Like, Carthage starts with a boat that has more than 30 strength. Go and take Cairo Alpha, like, oh, it's got no walls and anything. Scythia once was here. I believe Mongolia was over here as well. So actually, you can see there are still a lot of cities for me to go and have a look at. Go and take over in this direction. India. It's actually pretty protected by the Himalayas, I think, here. Not doing too badly at all. Africa is just a mess. It's gone. The whole of it. The whole of it is gone, apart from Mali, who somehow are surviving. And actually may end up taking their own city back at this point, which is pretty impressive for them. So hey, yeah, fair play. Just shows you there, we have a ways to go. If we're going to clean up America, if we're going to take it over and return it to Australian righteousness, well, we'd better get going quickly. And actually saying that, it's time we leave. Get on the spaceship, boys, quick, let's get out of here. So with all of this in mind, speed is the absolute priority here. Run in, take the city. Just keep going right now. Keep going. I mean, these bombers are just like blub, and the city doesn't exist anymore. It's wonderful. I need more melee units to take over North America, though. That's the only problem here. Boston has been next to fall. Big old cities over in the northeast here. This is pretty impressive. Another 30 here. I mean, I could liberate it to China in theory, but I think I'd quite like to take over this city. That looks pretty good. Mongolia's capital. Tasty. One more city has been taken down here. I've lost a couple on the west coast, but we're pushing up from the south now. I think we own most of Texas? Not sure. Yeah, starting to push into California now as well. Take the city back before the 3 cities get any ideas. I like to think that the Cree are now the 3 cities. They've sort of taken over, but nope, we're going to stick in it now. Nice old turbo bomber going in there. Lovely. Helicopter can't reach. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. What is the point of the helicopter if it can't skip across half the map every turn? Oh, these nuclear submarines can hit the city walls so well. Oh, that is beautiful, beautiful thing. Okay, that's good. That means now I just need to find a melee ship if I've actually got one. Do I own one? Yes, I do. Cincinnati, you are now mine as well. Hurrah! I can't help but put colonial taxes in here. It's 135 gold and 202 production. Based on my cities being on different continents to me. I love that. That's wonderful. This poor mechanized infantry is so weak. It's done so much killing. It's doing such a good job. Ah, we did it. I just found some more aluminium. Nice. And I like it when you immediately the district strikes. They're in my hands. I can just use it to use their own defenses just to skewer them. Lovely. Only population 2 this city, but it's causing all sorts of issues to these ones, so I'm just going to take that. And then, okay, annoyingly, this cavalry is on like 0 health, but I could, in theory, shoot a hole to the city with that battleship, go and use the jet bomber to take the city on. Oh, hang on. Oh, it's still got health. How annoying. Okay, maybe I'll wait a turn then. It is satisfying though. I'm taking all these cities over and just like, yoink, I'll take this. I'll shoot that. It's all very lovely. I've got lots of bombers now as well. Every turn I get more and more and more. Oh, that is a weird route, but I will take it. Nice. One more city to the city gods. One more city in Kingston now. Lovely. Again, always tempting to liberate. In fact, I do need to liberate something soon, actually. As I say, one city every 10 turns I have to forfeit It's not really that bad a deal, but, you know, feels worse. Ottawa has 104 strength. Don't like that. Also don't like that anti-tank crew. That's an army right next to my helicopters. Not fun. One more city here. Okay. You can see the coast is slowly actually being controlled. Okay, this city may be lost in one turn. So when I say slowly controlled, I do mean slowly in the sense that, you know, sometimes it's backwards, but that's okay. Oh yeah, melt those walls. Lovely. It's like one of those surprise chocolate desserts where they put the bubble of chocolate over some ice cream and then pour liquid hot chocolate over it and the whole thing melts in front of you. Oh, have you ever had one of those before? Man, that makes you feel special. Watching that absolute travesty of science like happen in front of you. There's no way that thing should work, but it does. Normally it's glorious, chocolatey, messy. Oh, beautiful. Oh look, okay, they moved the anti-tank crew out. Wonderful, that city's now really, really weak. That's brilliant. Means I can chug-a-chug with my helicopters. Woohoo! Ottawa is mine. I think Baltimore looks quite tasty as well, so we'll just frigate that. And then let's move the nuclear submarine out of the way. Get a caravel stuck in there. And again, we're securing this bay now. Beautiful. Vancouver. Vancouver's just in the arse end of there. Nowhere there, but it does have a wheel. So, you know, it's not too far off real life. One more city here. We're actually now beginning to make our way across Siberia. Oh, Europe's never too far away when that happens. Next up is Montreal. Lovely. Oh no. My liberation bonus. It's gone. Oh no. Right, we must do something about that quickly. Quick, get a bomber in here. That's good. Get one more bomber in on that city there. Good. Good, good, good. 28 defense. I think I should be able to go bam, straight in. Lovely. And let's liberate it to Mongolia. Ah, panic over. Panic over. Okay, I think we've got the double bonus now. Let's just let that reset. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Don't do this. Oh, yes, thank you. Oh, I almost had a panic attack then. Hamilton is next to fall. I'm actually, as I say, each city gives me 3 turns of loyalty before it gets grumpy. I'm actually I'm taking the city so quickly that 3 turns is just way more than I need. It's wonderful. Now, Aberdeen. This is the thing. Am I going to attempt to take over Britain? Australia actually keeping Britain. I love the sound of this. Yes, I'm going to do it. No more will we be just a simple slave colony. I say slave prisoner colony. I don't mean slave at all. Oh dear. It's tired. Playing late at night. My words are confused at the best of times and this is just getting silly. What's that? Uranium? Curiosity of scholars? Giant death robot? What? I wouldn't build a giant death robot. Or 2. Or 3. Oh yes. Walk across the sea, my friends. Walk across the sea. Oh yes. And there is the moon landing. Off it goes, granting me a huge boost to culture. 10 times my science per term, which is about 15,000 culture, something like that. So that'll do me pretty good. Nope, just under 19,000. Sorry, I'm a big liar and I apologise for that. Mars colony, 5 turns. Again, I feel like we can speed that up. Look, with every trade route Adelaide sends out of it, it gets more and more production. Just building up those internal trade routes, because you know what communism can do later on. Hee hee hee. Actually, now attacking the eastern coast of Africa. I'm going to try and do that thing again where I get about 3 cities in one turn. If I can do that, then it'll give me a bit of a loyalty grab. I might be able to just hold on to something. Can't guarantee it, but you never know. Might be possible. But this is real combined arms. Look at this. I've got all of these aircraft carriers just pulling my bombers across to Africa. Oh, it's actually just ever so slightly, well, unfair, I guess. Adbas, what are you going to do for me? He did nothing for me. Ugh. It's good thing I've got Stephanie on the way. She gets me. She's cool. Look at that, 553 scientist points per turn. I have a mod on. Some people always ask me, Ryan, doesn't this take ages and ages and ages and ages to play? Yes, it does. I really enjoy it. But also, I do have a mod that is called Repeat Project. I've mentioned it before, but effectively it's really, really simple. You press a project and every turn it repeats it every time it's finished. So it can be annoying at times because if you leave something on them and forget about it, then, you know, there's nothing we can do. But look, campus, 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 campus. All of these things are just repeating themselves. So I don't, like, every turn have to step back into the city and do the same thing over and over and over and over and over, which is very useful for me. That in itself probably has saved me maybe an hour or two over the course of the game. So, I mean, it really makes a difference. Halifax is the next city to fall. I'm keeping an eye out for just tasty uranium because I may be using it all already. I have 9 per turn coming in and yeah, that's not anywhere near enough. I need more uranium. One more bomber into here and my tank can take this city, which is pretty nice. So again, we're now closing in on taking all of North America over, which is pretty tasty. Aksu is also my city now. Liberate to Mongolia? Don't think so. I'm not that desperate for liberation. I've already got my bonus. Apparently I hadn't actually met Genghis Khan, even though I liberated him into existence. It's like I am a god and I birthed him, and it's saying I don't know him. It's like I clearly do. Now, I'm just going to load him up randomly with luxuries, just because I'd quite like to see whether or not he can actually survive. Look at that, he's super happy. Yeah, that did it. Oh, I kind of like him around, he's fun. It's like a little pet, just sort of sits there. Hey Genghis, you're right. Integrated space cell. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. This is great. Okay, that boosts my production even further. Even further. Adelaide, you are the best city. Come on. Let's keep pumping you full of production. Corporate libertarianism. Oh no, this is amazing. Commercial hubs and encampments provide cities with plus 10% production. Accumulating resources with improvements provide plus 1 per turn. So that is fun because that will give me even more uranium, and more uranium, my friends, means more giant death robots. I'm all about giant death robots. I'm into them in a big way. That's 1 city taken down here, which is a nice city actually. And then I think if I move one of my, so I've got a bomber, this one will do. You're pretty far out of the action. Let's get you to attack and then destroyer in to take this city. This city's just being trouble. It's refusing to keep loyal, even though I've got all my Japanese cities sort of pushing into it. Very annoying, but never mind. Let's release that direction so I can now send my digger over here. Okay, and then look at that, another target for my bombers. Oh, I forgot about this wonder. Oh, it's wonderful. It just gives all of my boats extra promotions. Oh, lovely. Oh. Corporate libertarianism. Oh my goodness. This is just wonderful. I love it so much. We're going to take a bit of a science hit to switch to this, but it's okay. Love the picture. It's so cool. Right. Integrated space bill, resource management, craftsman. All of these things are fantastic, but I was thinking about finally getting culture industry in. That's wonderful. Republican legacy. Okay, now that is just beautiful. Natural philosophy goes back in, and I think liberalism might be quite a good one as well, just to get a few more immunities. My immunities worldwide are terrible. Absolutely terrible. So between Republican legacy and liberalism, I should find that actually my yields go up quite a bit anyway, just because they're my yeah, look at that, 1,800. So I didn't lose too much in the way of yield. I think that probably speeds a little bit Adelaide up. Yeah, we're on -1 now as opposed to -3, I think it was on before. So that's really good. And finally, the Amundsen Scott Research Station. I like the idea of 20% science and 10% production in all cities, and doubling that if you build it in snow. Why would I have a campus with a research station in snow? Oh wait, I've got 2 of them. I'm really hoping with this city, this one on the coast, Mr. Oasis, will just stop rebelling. 4 times that one's flipped now. 4 times. I think that's inappropriate. Loving the fact that my cities now have a range strength of 95. Again, that's giant def robot upgraded there, and that'll only get stronger. Late game combat, so good. I know people like the early game and starting games out. I've said this before, like I like the early game as much as anybody, but the late game for me, that's when it all happens. That's why I enjoy playing England so much, just because they get all the bonuses by, you know, powering everything on with the electricity, but just, oh, love the late game. Amundsen Scott Research Station. I'm gonna waste absolutely no time getting that down. It does take 15 turns, which isn't great, but I think we can probably jimmy that along a little bit. Yeah, look at that, 14 turns is a little quicker than it once was. That's probably quite good, and I could probably move this along a little bit just to give me a bit of an edge. Rationalism, for instance, probably now has had its day, as has natural philosophy. Feels pretty painful to do that, because I'm going to lose a bit of science per turn based on Australia's insane adjacency bonuses there. But, you know, 1,500, that's pretty good. The only problem is I am losing a little bit of production from doing that, because my campuses, of course, were giving me production, seeing as I have the Heartbeat of Steam. So I might go and revisit that a little bit. I don't think Harbour Adjacency is worth it, really. But you can see that is now down to 12 turns, so clearly something is working. Bit more uranium now. I believe that's now 16 per turn being brought in, which is a good thing, because I have an absolutely terrifying amount of giant def robots that are appearing right now. I think that is number 5. We'll see how quickly we can find a use for them. First of all, the caravel's going to come in and just take Hurrah. It's a nice sounding name of a city. I like that one a lot. Let's get the submarine in. There's an encampment here that's causing a little bit of problem, actually, in terms of getting my units in. It's not the best, but I can, as you can see, get my giant def robot to get through in certain circumstances, so that's not actually too bad. It wants to move on top of that island and round. I'm not entirely sure that's the best way, but who am I to argue, really? Unless I actually attack that field cannon, which is an option, actually, because I can get this giant def robot to shoot it with its big robot gun. Yeah, look, you see, that was briefly an option. 5 movement to do that, 4 movement, there we go. The builder that was on that tower was causing me a little bit of problem, but that's fine. Second city, done. Am I going to liberate it? Hell am I going to liberate that? It's actually very useful, because now I can use my aircraft carrier fleet on this city. So really, that worked out for me pretty spectacularly, and that's 3 cities down. Now, loyalty is going to be problematic still. You can see that's still 3 turns, 3 turns, and 3 turns, but, you know, that will come through. For once, I'm actually going to start putting my governors in. It's not that I don't use them, it's just that I haven't been bothered, but now I have to, so, you know, that's fun. It gives me a whopping 5 turns in one city now. Wonderful. The exciting thing about this is I've got so many jet bombers and so much visibility that I'm now beginning to already pepper in the absolute inner cities of this African continent. So this shouldn't be too bad, actually. I should be able to, I think, treat myself to maybe another 3 cities next turn, depending on how many land units I can get in. Really, it's going to be a case of how many giant def robots can I get on the scene and how quickly can I do it. In the meantime, you can see, actually, these fritters, these absolute tasty fritters up here, they have all started to flip to me. So, you know, 3 cities, life, it has been wonderful, but it is fleeting. It is like a candle in the wind as we go to St. John. Goodbye, sweet prince. A helicopter core, it rises from horizon. Oh, the Casa, nice. It's actually pretty good. The fact that all these wonders have been built mean that these cities did survive reasonably late into the game, actually. Later than I would have necessarily expected at first, so I'll give them a little bit of credit. I would like to say not too much credit. I genuinely don't think they deserve any credit really at all, because quite frankly their empires all disintegrated, like papier-mâché. But, I mean, honestly, if they can get that many wonders out, there's no reason they couldn't have survived this 3-city splurge. Just a little bit of loyalty management and the AI would have been absolutely fine. More uranium? Ho ho ho! Don't mind if I do. As you can see, I had to retake Aberdeen, Stirling and London, but I'm now beginning to get the United Kingdom, and Nidaros is now mine as well. So that makes a big difference. Also, Amsterdam, I can just steal this city for myself quickly. Beautiful. Paris, I haven't decided that yet. I haven't really got any melee units in the area just yet. Although there is casually a modern armor corps just floating, just slowly across the sea. And that'll arrive at some point. I believe the problem is I may, by building giant death robots, have increased the range strength of the 3 cities because they're now firing way quicker. But that's okay. World's Fair, you know what? I feel I might do quite well on that one. Who has the most? Mali. So I'm going to vote for Mali to get a point. Why not? Let's go for... let's go for Meli to have an increase. Wonderful. And spies, I would like them to not be able to neutralise governor, but I imagine that's what they will end up doing, so I'll vote up for it again. Why? Well, I like playing the diplomatic game. Why did I only have 1 vote on each? Well, I'm on minus 123 diplomatic favour. If that isn't a cause for concern amongst my diplomats within my units and nation, I mean, I don't know what is. Neutralise governor, Mansa Musa, there we go. We actually voted correctly on 2 of those. We didn't see the graphic, unfortunately, but the Mars colony is now on its way. Lovely. Exoplanet, anybody? Oh, Stephanie. Lovely to meet you. Right, let's get Stephanie in. She doubles, absolutely doubles the rate of which I build space parts. Lovely. Now, I'm looking forward to seeing just how quickly that one goes now. 3 turns. Oh, yes, Stephanie, you are just delightful. Right, I'm going to stick Natural Philosophy back on because Heartbeat of Steam, I want to... Hitting double on that just makes me happy. It's the correct choice as well. I've gone to 310 production now. This 2,100 production project I'm doing in 3 turns, that's something about that makes me happy. Especially because I'm just about to pick up a 4th mission as well. If I shoot this musketman, I'm hoping my giant death robot will be able to just sort of walk over. But unfortunately, there's an annoying garrison there that's causing me a little bit of problem. Okay, the giant death robot will have to take its time. It's a bit of a shame. You know, the one thing I haven't built, I've been building bombers at frantic speed, as you can see. The one thing I haven't built is a war department. I think I might just do that quickly. Then my giant death robots will be officially unkillable. I always like to imagine this city is Gondor. Gondar. Gondar sounds like the cheap remake of Gondor, doesn't it? It doesn't have the white castle, or the white fortress. Oh, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called. It has instead the slightly off-white, beige, like paint colour friendly, stylish white. That's what it's got. Oh, I should finally get in Space Initiative as well. Oh my goodness, why have I not had that for so long? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Have I actually pushed that down to 2 turns now? No, I don't think it's possible. Never mind. The digger comes in and we take another Kree city up here. I'm also going to take this frozen city up in the north. Stranger to not have any oil up there. Normally Canada gets so lucky with oil. With Sheffield, that is the United Kingdom finally unified under a lovely Australian rule. And so it should be. Continuing also to attack up into Scandinavia. These cities are not offering much resistance at all, I'll be honest. Most exciting thing is Stockholm actually has a boat. It's got to be the first boat I've seen in some time. 2 randomly chosen 3 technologies. Oh, grace. I cannot tell you how excited I am for that. I'm going to blatantly get off-world mission, but that's not necessarily a good thing. Seasteads, off-world mission. Yeah, I totally called it, but that's fine. That's fine. I think we're pretty much set actually, although I don't think I picked up the upgrade for giant death robot attacks, so we're going to go pick that up quickly. My cavalry comes into this city now. 2 more cities in Africa to pick up. There is Axum, and down here is Kangela. Yeah, we've made a pretty good inroad into the east coast by now. This is good. And there is the Exoplanet Expedition. One of those games where I actually have to double check which cities are getting spaceports for me. There's too many of the damn things. Alright, now Lagrange laser stations take aluminium, that's fine, but we've got 350 oil in, that's just so much oil spare, so terrestrial laser stations will do it for me. As I say, I've got 4 cities that can do these things. Weirdly enough, my capital is the slowest out of the 2 between Adelaide and Canberra. So there we go, that is Fine, now this city's got a whopping 220. So yep, there we go. We should be able to build those in 2 turns. That is delightful. And this city, again, I believe... Oh, this one can do it in 1. Nice. Okay, yeah, we should be blasting off pretty damn quick. Oh, and Jane drew. Oh, wonderful. Jane is just my favorite. Extra amenities and housing for, well, what is a wonderful, like, second capital here. And, okay, right, there's a great general too. I think that was about as dismissive as the great general as I could be, yeah. And they're a thing as well. Giant death robot decides to go into a stroll, walks accidentally into an African city and goes, yeah, go on, man, I'll keep that. I mean, ditto over here. That, I believe, was an old capital. Is that? Yeah, capital for Congo. Nice. In fact, that's the capital of Ethiopia as well. Goodness me, these giant death robots are effective. This has a familiar ring to it, attacking into cities and here. Oh, that Portugal game was just so much fun. This time, however, we're not playing as Portugal. The Liberation Armada is dead. Long live the Australian Empire. I believe I can go and nab Paris now. London flipped again, but now that I've got Paris... Oh yeah, that's a little easier. Oh look, and Portugal's taken... They've taken another city! Oh, Portugal, I love you. One more city over here. I've finally taken Fukuoka back. Brilliant. Okay, we're almost there now. We just need Vancouver, and this continent is mine. Phoenicia wants to be friends. I'm just gonna say no for now. No reason, but there's a real risk that I might actually make my way into these sort of areas. Japan, by the way. Japan is still happily thriving as a city-state. I'm really glad I kept them around. They're really sweet. Oh no! No! Don't report the problem to Microsoft. They're not going to know what to do with it. Okay, so I had to reload the beginning of the turn again, which was an absolute pain in the ass. See, normally what causes these sort of crashes is the sea level changing. Doesn't appear to be the case in this particular instance. So what I'm going to do is, I know, we're really enjoying this run, but I want to finish the game as a priority. So I'm going to set my spaceports up to be putting these things into the sky, and I'm just going to try and force my way through the turns to see if it works. And hey presto, we have a solution. You would be amazed at how much, like, sticky tape and behind the scenes frantic like paddling I do to try and get these games to work. There are so many crashes and so many restarts. So that's the 3rd laser station, followed by the 4th, followed by the 5th, and then mightily followed by the 6th. I don't know why it keeps showing me that volcano between them. Blimey. That's number 7, that's number 8, and number 9. You know what, there's just so many of them. Why bother keeping count? I love that plume of light coming from that city. That is just my favourite one. It's just the little space, I like that. That whole spaceport is just a little island. I love that. So, I have to say, as little successes go, little life successes, that one makes me feel proud because this game was crashing on me. It probably crashed another 3 or 4 times, but no, we did it. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. We have the victory as Australia. The Australian Empire is very mighty, and we did get Augustus Caesar. I would have been quite insulted, frankly, had it not given me that. So, fingers crossed, that's all pretty awesome. Buildings constructed. I mean, I was clearly out in front, but I want to see the science graph. Oh, yes. Oh, hello there. What about culture? Yeah, as expected, I didn't do as well on that one. Very interesting. Religions founded? Yes. Very good. Very good. Very good. Great people. And it was only towards the last stages of the game that I really caught up on that one. But this is where it gets excited. So, cities founded, I had a whopping 13. But cities captured, I was above about 140. So that's pretty awesome. Units killed, the carnage was way over 300. Units lost is negligible. I think that's got to be pretty awesome, and I even constructed the most wonders. That's pretty cool. So there we have it, the Australian Empire. From such small and dainty surroundings, we managed to expand ourselves, settling onto New Zealand, taking over the Maori cities and heading up into the Philippines and Indonesia. After that point, we got into a huge liberty struggle where we were liberating left, right and centre the Kemen and Vietnam cities, leaving the Kemens with a tiny little city-state here. But otherwise, we pushed our way well into China, taking over Korea and Japan in the meantime, as well as a lot of Siberian Russia. Meanwhile, our fleet over in the eastern seas went from New Zealand and spread towards Antarctica, where they used that as a staging oily, tasty point to get into South America, engaging after some liberation struggles up near Panama and through the Incans. We managed to get into the Mapuche territory, and we got a big foothold, taking Brazil and the Incan territories as well, pushing into what there used to be Byzantium. Why Byzantium were there, no one ever really understood. Central America proved pretty easy as our fleets then split between the Panama, heading into the Pacific and the Atlantic at the same time. That was quite entertaining as that happened, and as we pushed into Texas and took the west coast, which actually proved pretty difficult to keep hold of, we also started to take over the east coast of America. Central was the last point, but once the Cree land started falling, as you can see, North America was an Australian holding as well. After that point, we held South and North America. It was only a matter of time before we also took Britain. Unfortunately, London's always awkward and managed to escape, but we started to take into Norway, and we were pushing our way into Sweden and Poland before our computer issues struggled. Africa doesn't look anywhere as neat as it used to, seeing as, unfortunately, whilst the game was crashing, we did lose a couple of those cities to loyalty, but you can actually see by the time I crashed, I had Ouandi, Ulundi, Nobamba, this city, which no one can pronounce, Kangila, Mabanza Congo, Axum, Gondar, and Addis Ababa. So we actually controlled, I would say, about 30% of the landmass of Africa. All in all, that wasn't a bad run, and can I just say, we have 6,300 military strength. If you have had a bigger military, I want to know all about it, because I am currently forking out 800 so gold per turn from unit cost. That is absolutely nuts. And you can also see I'm not even using any of the fun diplomatic policies. I don't think I've even unlocked them. Collective activism is not being used, and if I have a quick old peek, you can see somewhere is the policy card that gives you more science. I believe that is in, collectivization? No, ooh, what's it called? Globalization. I was actually looking for the economic term there. I couldn't think of that. Globalization, that thing that happens in real life. But there we go. If we just quickly check in here, you'll see that, yeah, I was winning pretty much everything except religious. I was actually third in religious, and I didn't own a religion, so that's got to be a good result. I had more score than everybody else added together. Science-wise, you can see towards the end of the turn, I was travelling 15 light years per turn and pumping out 4 of those things per turn, roughly. Wasn't too bad. I was actually starting to win a culture victory, just purely because I was massive and everybody else was so small, and I had 21 capitals. As you can see, still quite the way to go, although I have to say most of that will probably be Europe. Once you take over Europe, you can see just like if I keep the screen in like a various place, you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 capitals just there. There's another 1, 2, 3, look, Paris and Amsterdam and London, I'd taken all of those, so, you know, that was a bit frustrating. I probably would have been up towards 30 before the crash, so, you know, I think that was a pretty good result. Religion, as you can see, nobody was anywhere close, and I believe I was winning, yes, on 11 diplomatic points. Had I gone heavy on liberation, I could have easily won that one, seeing as there was only 9 people left in the game. And quite frankly, that was entertaining. That was the best bit about this game. There's only 9 people left in the game out of the original 50. And saying that, only a few of them survived on their own back. Portugal, Mali, and Phoenicia, as well as Chandragupta's India. They both now have a special point in my heart. They survived the turmoil of the 3-city TSL Earth map, and I'm just astounded. Unfortunately, the Kemans, Mongolia, and Japan, well, they do get points, but not many points, because quite frankly, they live because I allowed it. And quite frankly, John Curtin thinks that they should be grateful for their existence. Wow. What a run, what a citadel of civilization. From turn, 150 or so, we've been on double production this entire time. You can see my liberation bonus has actually disappeared. Oh, but, I mean, they were just nuts. Australia is nuts. I can't wait to see what happens with the game. Hey, we just had an announcement. The April updates came out, which look really, really cool. A lot of civs are getting some well-needed love, including one of my favourites, Spain, who nobody likes. I love Spain. Mapuche, I think are brilliant. Kemmons, I thought were really good anyway, and they're getting a buff, so I am just so excited. Thank you all so much for watching. I know none of you really listen to the videos once I start to ramble towards the end of them. I have the stats, I can tell. You all drift off as soon as I start talking, but to those of you listening, thank you so much for all your support. I think we started the year just over 1,000 subscribers, and now we're way past 3,700. It is just nuts. This dream, this crazy dream where I get to take over the world as the Aussies, as like a thing, as like something I can do, it's just, that glimmer of hope has become a spark, and I can see it now, and I'm just so excited about it. Thank you so much for watching and all your support. Remember, if anybody's asking for where mods live and where maps live, please point them towards the Discord. I try to, but I don't catch them all. And until then, I'll see you next time. Goodbye! But no, what's this? What's this? Portugal! Portugal are so overpowered. They seem to be forcing me into a trade deal. No, Portugal! I knew they were too overpowered. Oh, Portugal. They seem to have taken the world from me. Oh, it's chaos. It's beautiful, beautiful chaos, and I absolutely love it. It's interesting, isn't it, though, watching what cities the computer will let you trade and what it won't. There you go. Oh, what fun. And finally, a very special shout out goes to Scott Stratton, Major King Kong, Matthew Wilkinson, Salty Tech, and Helge Torp for all of your support on Patreon, as well as everybody else that likes, subscribes, joins up with Discord, and all of the other people who support me on Patreon. You really help me to do what I do. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.